Good morning, everyone, and a big welcome to the show. Today is Monday, the 12th of February, and we're going to take a quick look at the markets here. And what we want to talk about is, this is just exactly as I predicted it would happen. I thought that the recovery would start on Wednesday. Well, it sort of did, but it's a little bit delayed. It's starting today on Monday. And what I'm predicting is this recovery will continue into the end of March. And it's possible that the market could even make new highs, seriously, during this recovery period. So first thing we're going to do is start the charts right here. We're going to take a look at the U.S. 10-year Treasury bond. Now, this is what's behind everything that's been going on in the markets here. We see that the Treasury bond is starting to slowly heat up. It's going to be heating up over the next little while, but it's not going to be heating up really hot until March hits and they raise it to 30 from 20. So everything at this point, as over the past little bit of turbulence we've been through, over the past week or two, it's priced in. That's what's happened. What's happened is everything is priced in. That 1,000-point drop in the stock market and the turbulence in the bond market has all priced itself in now at this point, and everything is coming back to an equilibrium. That's what's happening. And so during this equilibrium period, the Fed's going to keep everything on course. Everything's going to chart through the same. What we're going to see is the stock market start to slowly climb back up again during this period. I don't really expect any crashes until the Fed takes action. We've got to watch the Fed. The Fed's a cause of the effect, and the Fed is going to do their thing around March 20th. So expect relative calm seas again. Now, if this was the ocean, the waves are going to start to calm down. This storm is over. This tempest is over. But look out for the tempest that's coming. The big one's coming. It's going to be way bigger. The big one's coming. And it's being caused by the Fed. You got to understand what's causing all this. So around March 20th, we're going to get the Fed raising rates 25 basis points again. Because things have calmed down, the Fed's going to stay on course too. And around the end of March, they're going to raise the real thing that raises these interest rates up. They're going to hit it again. They're going to raise it from 20 to 30. This is going to send everything over the kilter because, you know, we almost went over the barrel almost went over the falls on this one. This last week. Everybody got frightened. The barrel was going over the falls. It almost did, but we were saved. They're going to shove the barrel over the falls next time. But I'm telling you when it's coming. It's coming at the end of March and into April. So prepare yourselves accordingly. So now let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, you see Bitcoin right here at 85.52 at Bitstamp. Okay, I always go to Bitstamp. Here's the thing. What's going to happen with Bitcoin? You're probably wondering. Well, Bitcoin's going to march on. I'm thinking that Bitcoin's going to do rather good. I don't think Bitcoin's in for a crash right now. I think Bitcoin's had a price correction. I think Bitcoin's going to stumble along until the end of this March thing that I'm talking about, and the stock market's going to crash. When the stock market first crashes, the very first initial knee-jerk reaction is, I think a lot of them are actually going to run into Bitcoin. Bitcoin could actually go up with the dollar, with gold, and with silver, initially. Right, during the big stock market crash. Bitcoin could actually, some of the money could actually be transferred into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going to do rather well, probably until the big stock market crash hits. And then the initial phases is probably going to do okay during the stock market crash. It's later, when the stock market crash intensifies and it becomes, the super fear sets in. That's when they're going to run to three things, the dollar, gold, and silver. And they're going to start to dump their Bitcoin then at that point. And then we're in for the Bitcoin crash of the mother of Bitcoin crashes after the stock market experiences the mother of stock market crashes. So we're into for two enormous big crashes coming probably in April. Now, I say probably in April. I'm giving it a high chance. But if it doesn't come in April, it's going to come when they raise it to $40 billion. Let's see, April, May, June, the end of June. So the end of March, they raise it. Yeah, the end of June. Then in July. So if it doesn't come in April, the stock market crash is going to come in July. Because this is a game of Jenga there, and they keep raising it, $10 billion. They keep raising the bar. Now, that's an analogy that goes back to jumping. And these high jumpers, they'll try to jump over the bar, and if they just barely get over the bar, the guy comes and raises the bar an inch. If they barely get over that, then he raises the bar another inch. They keep raising the bar until the guy is going to trip over the bar. He's going to hit the bar. It's inevitable, and that's what the Fed's going to do. They're going to keep raising this bar until they bring this market down into an enormous crash. Now, they just barely get over this hurdle of 20 billion. They're going to raise it to 30 and then to 40, and if that don't do it, they're going to raise it to 50. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, guys. They're going to bring this market down. And look, they're not frightened. When this thing, the market fell 1,000 points, it didn't scare them off. They're going to continue with what they're planning on doing. They're determined to bring this market down until there's a real honest-to-God crash. And when this real honest-to-God crash, you're going to see Bitcoin crash with it, because when the real fear hits, there is really nothing but speculation behind these markets at this point. Okay. We do have a new technology that is going to revolutionize the world, ultimately. But as for right now, there's very little connected to the actual financial system where you can actually do things with your Bitcoin. You got to go and hunt for a company. Now, say I wanted to buy an airplane ticket. With Bitcoin. That's one of the things you can use to buy with Bitcoin, is an airline ticket. I got to go find a specialty company that's willing to take my Bitcoin. Not all airline companies will take my Bitcoin. And it's the same way with a lot of things. Like, say I want to buy some gold or silver with Bitcoin. There's another thing you can do with Bitcoin. I got to find a specialty company that will be willing to do that. Not all of the companies will take it. And that's the way all across the board. And in actuality, Bitcoin was a little bit more diversified months ago. Some of these companies are saying, hey, you know what? We don't want to take Bitcoin anymore. Yeah, some of the companies. Now, some of the companies are diehard companies, like they'll continue to take Bitcoin regardless. But some of the companies tried it out and they're like going back to cash again, or they're going back to credit again, and they're leaving off, some of the companies. And so it's one of these things where Bitcoin is the future, yes. But the future's not here yet, and right now what we have is a speculative market. Now, when the real fear and panic comes from this stock market crash that's coming, and believe me, it is coming later this year. We're not going to get through this year unless the Fed reverses their actions, and they're not going to. We're not going to get through this year. The Fed's not going to reverse their actions, by the way. We're not going to get through this year. This market crash is coming. And when it really starts to hit hard, when it really hits home, then there will be the ones who rushed into Bitcoin initially during the stock market crash, thinking it was a safe haven, like gold, like silver, like the dollar. They're going to start rushing out. When they start rushing out, suddenly panic will enter into the Bitcoin market, just like the stock market, and it's going to crash. It's going to crash just like the stock market's going to crash, maybe worse, because underlying the Bitcoin is really, other than speculation, there's really not a lot of hard substance behind it. It's like the .com bubble. It's like pets.com. You know what I mean? That's what it's really like underneath the Bitcoin. It's like pets.com. And you know what happened to pets.com? Sure, they did have an actual business there and a business model, but it didn't meet the speculative value of the company. valuations of the company. And this is the way with the cryptocurrencies. Sure, they do have a business model there. Sure, they do have a business going, but it's just as big a front as the Pets.com was, you know. And so this is what we're dealing with here with these cryptocurrencies. Now the Dow Jones today, you know, she's bouncy a little bit, but ultimately she's starting to settle down. And she's starting to come in with some positive numbers again. 256 up on the day right now as we speak. It might end the day near equal to the board, maybe up 100 points or something, probably end the day. This is what I'm thinking. But we're going to see more days like this where she's going to creep back up toward that 26,000 point. But this is all in preparation for the big crash. And this is because they've priced in the bond market now. At this point, they've priced in the bond market, and they've become secure with it. But they're only secure with it until the Fed brings the bond market down later. That's coming later, and that's where the big crash is coming, boys. Let me tell you. Okay, so now let's take a look here at Sweet Light crude oil. $60.32. It's up 112, and this shows signs right here of the deflation backing off, and the fact that the fact that it went under $60 was signs of the deflation. Now she's starting to heat up again. Crude oil. Crude oil is one of your barometers. I'll tell you another barometer is copper, but I'm not going to do the copper price this morning. Now the silver price. What we see is a shoot up here, and this is the same thing. You know, we're heading back up to 17 bucks on silver. Now, the U.S. dollar index, $90.30, pretty much stable on that. Cryptocurrency market capitalizations, we can see a lot of coins here that are looking pretty darn good, you know, and a lot of green here in the cryptocurrency market capitalizations. I'm still in favor of Litecoin. I like Litecoin a lot. Bitcoin Cash is a solid coin too. So is Ethereum. Bitcoin itself, I like it okay. Ripple, same deal. I'm not real crazy. Actually, I like Bitcoin better than Ripple. Ripple, I've never been a fan of Ripple because it's not decentralized. I don't like that. I really don't like that. US 10-year, we went over that before, and we'll stop on that today because this was the cause of all the problems. Now, this has been priced in, the US 10-year, and so we can see smooth sailing until they raise it again at the end of March. So watch out for the end of March. That's the time to watch out for. Until then, we're going to have a little bit of smooth sailing, I think, coming up. So thank you guys for listening to this report on the markets. Be sure to like and subscribe. Head over to my Delta channel. Just enter into YouTube the Delta Report and go over there and subscribe. I'm really working hard on that channel. We've passed the 1,000 mark now. We're up to 1,170, and we're on our way up to the second 1,000 over there. That's a really good report I do once a day. So bye-bye for now.